All right, Coach, thanks for joining us, and go ahead whenever you're ready, sir.
Thank you, Mark. I want to congratulate Coach Norvell and Florida State on a great game. They played hard from the beginning. With their play and our response, we dug ourselves in a huge hole at halftime. I thought we would come back and settle down and win the game in the second half, and we had our opportunities, and we turned the momentum. We played much better defense the second half. We moved the ball much better the second half. I thought we had the ball 45 plays and 20 minutes, basically the first half. I thought they'd wear it down in the fourth quarter, which happened. But when Trey Morrison forced the interception, and then we didn't get points. We didn't score a touchdown, but we also missed the field goal when we had a lot of momentum going at that point. That killed a lot of clock. It let them take it down to the other end, and then I thought we did a good job getting us back in position to win, but obviously we dropped 2 passes there at the end of the game that kept us from winning the game. First half was awful. We throw an interception for a touchdown. We have 2 blocked punts. I think the first block punt was from the outside, and we had a slow operation because he's a free player that's not supposed to be able to get there. And that set all momentum against us and gave them confidence. And that's one thing they were lacking. They had good players. We knew they'd played much better against Notre Dame, but we didn't need to get them off to a good start, and we did that. And then even with the interception for a touchdown, we come back and we play good defense. Right before the half, we score. And they score with 1:09 left, I think, in 5 plays, which was just a killer. Again, I thought, good, we've got it down back to 21. We'll be able to get an easier second half. We'll do better. So when you'll ask me what happened, I don't know. If I knew, I would have stopped it. But obviously, we weren't ready to handle the surge that they had in the first half, and then the kids settled down. I've never been prouder of a group to come back and play like they did in the second half. And Coach Royal at Texas always told me, when your team plays like that, they didn't lose the game. They ran out of time because they obviously dominated the second half. They were just in some trouble after the first half. Questions?
Okay. Thanks, Coach. We will begin with CL Brown. CL, go ahead.
Coach, hope you can hear me better. I was wondering, how do you take this loss and spin it forward just in terms of using that second half as kind of the positive points and the jumping points?
CL, I tell them that's what we should have been like the whole game, and that we're not good enough at this stage in our program to take a half off. And Florida State dominated the first half like we dominated the second half, and it ended up being an even game because of that, and came down to 1 or 2 plays at the end. But we can't do that for whatever reason. I was a little worried that this is the first night game we've played. You sit in that hotel all day and watch games, and we got them up. We took them out to meet, and we came back. But I was concerned about that before the game, and sadly I was right.
And can you take us through in the second quarter the decision to go forward on that 4th and 2 as opposed to trying to just kick a field goal then?
Yeah, I'm always going to go for it if I can. I think we're going to make it. And if you can't make a 4th and 2, you're probably not going to win a game. That's all the analytics now say go for it at 4th and 4, much less 2. So they were moving up and down the field, CL, and I didn't think at that time we could kick field goals and hang in a game. We need to score touchdowns.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Okay, Andrew Jones, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, what was the demeanor of your team during that stretch in the second quarter? They just kind of erupted on you.
I thought it was okay, but we didn't have people step up, and make plays. And good teams do that. We did that in the second half. Time and time again, we did that in the second half. We didn't do it in the second quarter. And that's when the game got out of control. And like I said, I told them at halftime it was going to be maybe the largest comeback in North Carolina history. And I really felt that. And we're a player or 2 away from making that happen.
Also, FSU came in with just 3 sacks in the season. I think they got to Sam 4 times tonight and had a lot of pressure, especially in that fourth quarter. What was wrong with the pass protection in that stretch?
Well, when we're one-dimensional, have to throw it every time. We're not great at pass protection. We know that. That's why we run the ball so much and have play action. And they've got very talented players, and they were blitzing some, and they knew they couldn't cover us, so they had to try to get Sam off his rhythm. So, but that's when we get one-dimensional against really good athletes, we're not as good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Kira Luck, go ahead, Kira.
Hey, Coach. During the second half, you said that, or excuse me, at halftime, you said that the second half you would find this team's identity. What did you conclude in the second half as far as who this team is?
They're great young people that have a tremendous amount of pride, and they were down at halftime, and a lot of teams at that point would have given up and just quit and gotten frustrated and started calling out each other. And nobody on that sideline was like that in the second half. Nobody was that way at halftime. Our coaches picked them up. Our players picked each other up, and they had a very positive attitude the second half. And that's who this team is. So we'll go back to work because we got an important game with State next week.
All right, Gregory Hall, go ahead.
Mack, what was Florida State doing that was making it so difficult to bring down Jordan Travis on those scrambles that he had?
I think, Greg, everybody has had trouble with him. He's a really good runner. He's a big kid. He can run. We knew that. Lonnie had him at Louisville, and Lonnie told us he was a really good runner. And we just played better defense in the second half.
And what do you guys need to do on special teams moving forward? Obviously, that blocked punt early in the game was a big deal. What do you see with special teams moving forward?
Fix the one or two mistakes we're making a week. It'd been one. Today it was two. One player didn't do a good job. We have to either teach him better or change him. And the shield, and we got our punt off too slow, and that's the first time that's happened. So we'll have to go back, and I'll have to look at it very closely to see if it was the snap that was too slow or if Ben took too long.
All right, Luke Buxton, go ahead, Luke.
Coach, your team came in fifth in the country, high expectations, night game in prime time. And then after a loss like this, what is your message to the team after the game, and what is your message to the team this week to get them prepared for next week against State?
Luke, my message was that I apologize to them because obviously I didn't have us into it as early as we needed to. They took the punch to us, and we needed to jump on them. They were a team that wasn't playing with great confidence, and that was our advantage. They've got really good players, and we didn't do that, and that's on me. That's the head coach's responsibility. And then I bragged on them for the second half because I challenged them at halftime and said, you are what you're going to play like the second half as a team and the rest of the year, and they played as hard as they could possibly play the second half. Didn't play great all the time, but they played hard. So I'm really proud of the way they hung in there and came back. That's the second half is the team we want to be. In fact, that's the best we've probably played as a team all year in the second half, and as poorly as we've played together in the first half.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, last one for Coach. Greg Barnes, go ahead, Greg.
Hey, Mac. Jay's defense turned it around there at halftime, as you've mentioned, held Florida State scoreless in the second half. What kind of adjustments did he make? What needed to take place for that to occur?
Greg, we're not rushing the passer very well. We're not forcing turnovers very well. That's been something it's been obvious throughout the year and could jump up and bite us, and it did tonight. But Jay settled the secondary down much better the second half and told them to quit watching the using poor eye discipline and watching the quarterback scramble and stay with their guy. And that's all we did, and it was much better the second half.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Coach, thanks for your time. Safe travels back.
Thank you.
All right, Chaz, thanks for joining us. If you guys have a question for Chaz, please use the raise hand function. All right, first question comes from CL Brown. CL, go ahead.
Hey, Chaz, I just want to get the feel for the defense in the second half. What do you feel like changed for you guys in terms of confidence, given how the first half went and the points that you guys allowed?
I just think we made adjustments at halftime with some stuff that they did was problematic against our scheme. So we kind of switched up the fronts a little bit and, was able to make some plays.
And looking at the big picture of the season, obviously this doesn't eliminate you guys from anything, but what do you think just in terms of it making the margin of error that much thinner if you guys want to get to a ACC championship game?
I mean, yeah, I mean, the goal is, win every game. We didn't do that today. So, I mean, we're just going to have to go back and, work harder, get better, and come out next week and perform. That's about all we can do.
All right, thanks, man.
All right, Gregory Hall, go ahead.
Chaz, what was Florida State doing in the first half that caught you guys off guard?
Nothing really caught us off guard. It just, I mean, we knew they would, run the quarterback. We knew, they'd take their shots, and they were just able to hit, on some of those shots, made some plays. So we just got to, go back to the drawing board and try to clean it up for next week.
What was the message either from Mack or Jay Bateman at halftime for y'all?
We were really talking about a comeback. It started with the first drive in the third quarter. Just trying to come out and play hard in the third quarter. Make a statement that we're not going away. I think we played well at times in the second half. I don't think they scored in the second half. No, I don't think so. So, I think we came together on defense. It just was a little too late. So, next time you just got to come out in the first half and play a little better.
Thanks, Chaz.
All right, last one for Chaz. PJ Morales, go ahead, PJ.
Hey, Chaz. I just wanted to know, where do y'all, when you're down, by that much of a deficit at the half, where do y'all find kind of the confidence and the inspiration to come back from a deficit like that and, not only, hold FSU's offense to no points, but as well, with the rest of the guys, getting the offense motivated, getting the defense motivated to make stops. Where do you guys get that confidence from?
I just think the faith we have and the players we have on the team and the coaches, and then along with the offense, we knew the offense was going to get rolling at some point. We're just waiting on them to click. So, yeah, I think just the people we have in our building is where we get the confidence from.
And then just kind of going forward, how do you take this energy and then take it to next week?
I think we just got to get better from this film, and then go out there and practice hard. Put ourselves in better situations to win the game, and that's about all we can do, really.
All right, thanks, man.
Chaz, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.
All right, Bo, thanks for joining us.
Absolutely.
All right, first question, Andrew Jones, please go ahead.
Hey, Bo, with the way the first half went, with the block punt, and they had a pick six, and you guys were 3 and out, punting a lot, sense that maybe you guys were a little bit shell-shocked during the stretch, and if not, what was the demeanor among the team?
I wouldn't say shell shock. And like in the first half, I put a lot of that on myself just because I feel like I shook up the feeling of the game and the ball that we had rolling at the very beginning of the first game. I mean, we came out first drive, and I had a easy first down pickup, and I ended up dropping the ball. And I felt like the vibe was just off after that. So I placed a lot of that on myself. I felt like I didn't do a good enough job in the very beginning of the game, but I wouldn't say that we were shell-shocked. I mean, we knew that this was going to be the first time playing with a lot of fans. We knew that they were going to have a big surge of energy, and we just knew that we had to weather the storm. But like I said, I mean, I put a lot of that on myself.
What do you take from this game, the way it played out, and the fact that you guys did lose and have to regroup now?
I mean, as much as it hurts, like I feel like, I mean, we prove day in and day out like that we can pull ourselves out of situations. It's just a matter of we can't keep putting ourselves in those situations. We can't keep doing the stuff that we were doing last year. Like this is stuff we got to learn from. And I mean, these are all situations that we've been in. So we just got to keep learning from it, practice harder, and then, like I said, just learn from it.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right, Greg Barnes, go ahead, Greg.
Hey, Bo, they seem to kind of take away the passing game down the field, especially in the first half. What were they doing so effectively?
I mean, they came out into 2-man, which, I mean, we were ready for whatever they're going to throw at us, but obviously it took us a little bit longer to get rolling than we would have liked. And like I said, there was several situations that we didn't capitalize on. Not even in the first half, but defense gets a big turnover right there in good field position. Like, we got to put points on the board right after that. So I would just say, I mean, there wasn't anything that shocked us, but like I said, I mean, it took us too long to get the ball rolling.
And you mentioned some of the similarities to last year. This game played out very similarly to the Wake Forest game. Was there any sense that the guys maybe weren't as alert, if you will, to start the game, or is that just something that kind of snowballed on you?
I don't know, because I mean, like, I know personally, mentally, I felt like I was locked in. I know some like guys around me were locked in, so I mean, it's hard to say. But like you said, I'm referring it to Wake Forest. I'm like, being through situations like this, I mean, like, there wasn't a second in the game that I ever thought that we were going to lose. So, I mean, all the preparation that you put into it, all the practice that you put into it, I mean, like, these are games that we expect to win no matter what the situation is. So, I mean, like, going back to what I said earlier, I mean, all you can do is learn from this one and practice harder.
All right. Thanks, Bo.
Yep.
Isaac Shade, go ahead, Isaac.
Hey, Bo, thanks for your time. I was wondering on that last incomplete pass down the sideline if you felt like I know the D-back had a hold of your undershirt there. I was wondering how much that affected you.
I mean, it affected me a little bit just because he slowed me down by pulling my shirt. But, I mean, at the end of the day, the ball hit my hands. I got to make that play. So, like I said, I mean, there's several plays throughout the game that I need to learn from and improve on. But, I mean, I wouldn't use that as an excuse. I mean, personally, I definitely thought that I might have got a PI from it because I felt it in the middle of the play. But, I mean, you can't make a ref call anything. So, like I said, the ball hit my hands. I should have made the play.
Good deal. Thank you.
All right, last one for Bo. CL Brown, go ahead, CL.
Hi, Bo. I was curious if what is it going to take to kind of get that second half team that you guys showed to be the 4-quarter team that we'll see moving forward?
Well, that's what we got to do Sunday. Tomorrow we got to digest the film, figure out what the heck it was that we were doing in the first half that wasn't working, and we got to make the right adjustments and make sure that we don't come out flat like that again.
And obviously it's a loss, but how much confidence do you guys take out of the way you played in the second half, or is it overshadowed by the first half?
I mean, a loss is a loss, so it's hard. I mean, we'll pull the good things that we did good, but I mean, we got to learn from the things that we did bad because ultimately, like, that's what got us beat. So, I mean, as good as we did play in the second half, like I said, we'll acknowledge it, but I mean, we got to learn from our mistakes.
Thanks, Bo.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Bo, for joining us tonight. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Trey, thanks for joining us. If you have a question for Trey, please use the raise hand function and we will get over to you. First up is Greg Barnes. Greg, go ahead.
Trey, what was the difference in the first half and the second half for you guys?
I feel like we just had some miscommunications and just losing our eyes sometimes, quarterback scramble and some things like that. I mean, I feel like we cleaned it up really well in the second half, which led us to the comeback in the end.
What's the takeaway from this game? Obviously, you didn't start the way you wanted to, but that was kind of a furious finish, and you gave yourselves a chance to win.
Mm-hmm. I feel like we need to come out stronger. I think we just need to do the little things, like just when the quarterback scrambles, keep eyes on them, just make the routine tackles and the routine plays, and I think that's what's going to set us apart.
Thanks, Trey.
All right, back over to CL Brown.
Trey, in the big picture of the season as a whole, what do you think in terms of this maybe making the margin of error a lot thinner moving forward in terms of you guys trying to get to the ACC championship game?
I feel like we just need to focus on the next week and every week upon that.
All right, thanks, man.
All right, back over to Isaac. Isaac Shade, go ahead.
Thank you. Thanks, Trey. Hey, will you take us through your interception? What did you see, and how did you get that arm up there, man?
I was playing a little zone, seeing a quarterback roll out, just backpedaling, trying to get some depth to show presence to the route behind me. I just jumped up and got the ball when I seen it in the air.
Right on. Thank you.
All right, Trey, that's all we got for you. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much.
Hey, Sam, what is your takeaway from this game? What you guys did in the second half to put yourself in position to maybe win the game with another player or two, or the hole that you dug in the first half that made it too much to overcome?
Yeah, I mean, we obviously had a slow start. A lot of that was on me in the first half. I made some poor decisions in the first half. I mean, we didn't expect what we saw from the defense side of the ball, but that's still not an excuse. We still should have been able to put points on the board in the first half. And I'm proud of the way we fought in the second half. We made a lot of plays in the second half, and we had a chance to win at the end. We just didn't pull it out.
Thanks, appreciate it.
All right, Greg Barnes, go ahead, Greg.
Sam, the offense was 2 of 11 on third down. What were they doing that were giving you fits on third down?
Yeah, I mean, I have to go back and look at all of them, but yeah, I mean, just we didn't have great success overall on third down. A lot of that was on me. So let's go back and reevaluate the film and just learn from it and get better.
And what was the key there in the third quarter for the offense to kind of get settled down even after the kind of the failure in that first possession, to get settled down and get back in the game? Was there any concern whatsoever, and kind of what was the game plan?
Ask your question again. I'm sorry.
What was the key for the offense getting this rhythm in the second half?
Yeah, I mean, I think we just had to settle down. Just take what they were giving us. We're starting to run the ball pretty well, and we ended up getting some one-on-one matchups that they weren't giving us in the first half. And once they were doing that, we took advantage of them. Really, that was really the difference. In the second half, we got a lot more one-on-one matchups. In the first half, we didn't get any. They were sitting in cover 2-man, playing man underneath with 2 safeties deep, trying to take the deep ball away. So, yeah, I mean, we just got some more one-on-one opportunities in the second half.
Thanks, Sam.
All right, back to CL Brown.
Sam, how do you think this loss, what do you think this loss will mean in terms of the margin of error you guys have moving forward, with an eye on trying to get to that ACC championship game?
Yeah, I mean, we're not worried about that right now. We're just worried about getting back and just evaluating this film and getting better, and try to be a good NC State team next week. So we're just taking it 1 week at a time. I think we know if we take care of our business, then we'll be where we want to be.
And was there a point in the second half where you knew you guys were going to win, where you felt like you were positioned, to take this game?
Yeah, I mean, I felt like that in the locker room at halftime, to be honest with you. I know the type of guys we have, and I knew this team was going to fight till the end. I really thought we were going to pull it out at the end, but, we didn't. So we just got to go back and learn from the film and get better.
Thanks.
Okay, over to Isaac Shade.
Sam, I was just wondering, what do you do to pick your receivers up, Bo and Daz and Javante, after those drops on the last series there?
Yeah, I mean, they're fine. I mean, all 3 of those guys made some really good plays, and really all 3 of those guys were the reason we had a chance to even win at the end. So, we just got to move on to the next game and don't let this game affect us. Move on to next week, and those guys are fine. I mean, they know. I mean, obviously, it's just. We'll just move on and get ready for next week.
Good, thank you.
All right, last one for Sam comes from Gregory Hall. Gregory, go ahead.
Sam, what was your message to your guys at halftime and as you took the field in that third quarter?
Yeah, I mean, I just told them to fight. Don't look at the scoreboard. Just keep fighting and taking it one play at a time, and just keep fighting. If we kept putting points up on the board, then we'd have a chance at the end, and we had the chance, and we just didn't pull it out.
In a game where Florida State dominates you in the first half, is there a feeling that you have to be kind of perfect or almost flawless in the second half?
Yeah, I mean, I think the main thing for us is when you dig a hole like that for yourself, the worst thing you can do is press and try to put more pressure on yourself. You just need to go out there and play loose and just try to have some energy and try to have fun with it. That's what we tried to do in the second half, and we fought to the end, and we just came up short.
And then how do you move on from missed opportunities when you know a game that you have to come back from such a large deficit? How do you move on from those missed opportunities?
Yeah, I mean, we just gotta keep our head up and get our eyes on the next one. Whether it's the next play, next game, that's just the mentality of this team. I know we have some really good players on this team, and I think we're still going to be successful this year. So we just got to get our head ready for the next game.
Thanks, Sam.
Yep.
All right, Sam. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yep.